Welcome, friends, to the TeleWellness Hub podcast, where listening is not just a simple act, passive act. It's an act of self-care. And at the TeleWellness Hub podcast, we connect you with resources and insights to support your mental, emotional, and physical well-being from leading experts who you can find on our directory, TeleWellnessHub.com. But you can also hear from people's authentic wellness journeys. I'm your host, Marta Hamilton, a licensed professional counselor. And today I wanted to dive into a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, that's been on the minds of many students and families this time of year, going away to college or starting a new year of college for that matter. We'll be discussing the importance of mental health during this transition and offering some hope and practical advice to help you or your loved ones navigate this significant life change. You know, I've been seeing a lot of commotion going back to college, shopping, conversations with people excited about where they're going and to represent their schools or to start a new academic career. And it's an exciting time, new experiences, new friends, a whole new level of independence. And while that is so exciting, it can also be overwhelming. As adults, we learn that a lot of the most exciting transitions and experiences can come with quite a bit of feelings of overwhelm. Some of the top most stressful life events are those that are considered positive and exciting. Things like getting married, having a baby, a job promotion. And this is no different. And for many of these people who are entering in, this is they're 18 years old. Some people are 17, maybe 19. They're entering into adulthood. And the pressures of academic performance, making new social connections while adjusting to a completely different environment as well as responsibilities can really take a toll on a student's mental health. And this episode is not intended to scare anyone or make anyone worried. I hope to do quite the opposite, to instill some hope. And this is actually, if I'm being totally transparent, has been a big shift of mine with TeleWellness Hub in terms of reaching out to universities, college campuses, and creating a platform through TeleWellnessHub.com, through our podcast, through our YouTube videos, through the way that we empower people to find the right provider and engage and interact with their social media and their resources and their courses and instantly connect to schedule an appointment or message them. I want to change how we scroll when it comes to mental health and wellness. I want to take all of technology and all of its facets and in our captivating engagement with it and all the content that exists out there and put it in one digital hub, precisely because I would love to make mental health and wellness something that people want to scroll through, and especially with a younger college-age population, because the statistics are eye-opening. I'm going to pull up my stats here. According to the American College Health Association, nearly 60% of college students reported feeling overwhelming anxiety in the past year. And over 40% said they felt so depressed that it was difficult to function. And these numbers, truly, when you think about it, 6 out of 10 college students reported feeling overwhelming anxiety in the past year. 4 out of 10 said they felt so depressed it was difficult to function. This isn't something that you hear talked about at the end of high school graduation. It's not something you see when people are posting their pictures of them in their college gear. It's really shocking. And I think we do a really good job at preparing housing, and we have to think about finances and preparing for our future careers and preparing for graduation. And I think this is an element that I think we should really focus on. At least for me, I feel really compelled to look at how can we close this mental health gap, not just TeleWellness Hub, but us as a society. And I hope if you're listening and you know somebody who's headed off to college, or you know someone whose parents are getting ready to send someone off to college or who are in college, right? Because these statistics are people who are already in college, that this episode will be a light for you. So mental health challenges can significantly impact academic performance. Studies have shown that students with depression are twice as likely to drop out of college compared to their peers. And anxiety can lead to difficulties in concentration, test taking, test anxiety, completing assignments. And this all ultimately affects the whole point, right? Grades, academic progress towards a diploma, towards a career. And in fact, a survey by the Healthy Minds Network found that students with mental health issues are more likely to experience academic impairment, with 20% reporting that their symptoms have led to dropping a course, withdrawing from classes, or receiving a lower grade. So something to look out for if you notice someone's showing like significant academic struggles compared to how they maybe were performed in the past, or they're talking about withdrawing or having to drop a course. I think we could get focused on like, hey, what do you need to do? Do you need to get a tutor? Do you need to buckle up, turn in those assignments? Those are all valuable things, right? If you don't want to receive a lower grade or withdraw. But I think it could also point to, as a friend, as a parent, as a loved one, checking with that person and saying like, hey, how are you feeling? Like, how's your stress level? What's going on in your world? And I think that is a really important thing to consider as well. Another critical issue that intersects with mental health is substance abuse. So the National Institute on Drug Abuse reported that approximately 1 in 3 college students has engaged in binge drinking in the past month, or this was done at the end of the year, and nearly 1 in 4 has used marijuana. And these behaviors are often linked to stress, anxiety, and depression, particularly if there are ways that students turn to cope with issues in their life. If they're using substances as a way to cope and self-medicate, it could lead to bigger struggles. And the reality is that substance abuse often makes mental health issues worse. So it might be like a temporary Band-Aid, but it's just going to end up like, it's kind of like putting the pressure on that hose. It'll just explode after, typically. And so this leads to a vicious cycle. So because the anxiety, for example, gets greater after, then there's more attempts to self-medicate with substances, and it's really hard to break this cycle. If you haven't listened in yet on an episode, I recommend you scroll back wherever you're listening or look on YouTube and check out my episode with Mari Carmen. She is a DBT counselor, a coach, and works in recovery. And she has great insight as she shared her personal experience with her son in this, and also shared just kind of how it's transformed their lives. There is hope. So I don't want to share this as concern, but there are tools and there are people and there is light. So something to be aware of. And it's important then to recognize the signs early and help your loved one, or if it's you, seek help before the behaviors spiral out of control. So now that we've talked about some of the greatest challenges, academic struggles, mental health on academic, the impact of mental health on academic performance, substance abuse, and college life are the 2 major ones that we see. There's also a lot of isolation, right? And it comes with it. But I want to talk, those are the greatest challenges. I want to talk about a shift to the focus of hope. The good news is that there are resources and strategies available to help students manage their mental health and thrive in college. So first and foremost, it's important to know that you're not alone. You heard those statistics. It's an overwhelmingly high number of people, right? 60% reported feeling overwhelming anxiety. 40% said they were so depressed it was difficult to function. So if you're listening to this and you know someone who's struggling and they're a college-age student, or if it's you, the first thing to know is you're not alone. They're not alone. This is a very common reaction to such a big life transition. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling depressed, reaching out for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. And most colleges offer counseling services through their campus. So you can reach out to the student health clinic. That's a great place to start. You could reach out to, if you're in a sorority or fraternity, reach out to them. If you're part of any student groups, reach out to them. If you're living on campus, reach out to your RA. And there's also support groups from there that they can refer you to, different counselors on campus or off. There are wellness programs as well that are specifically designed to help students navigate these challenges. And if you're unsure where to start, again, your school's health center, usually like the health clinic, is a great first step. Of course, TeleWellness Hub is here. My ultimate mission in life is to have an overwhelming amount of providers for each state that you could instantly, whether it's at 2 a.m, 3 a.m, chat with our Wellness Match AI chatbot, tell them how you're feeling, have them direct you to the ideal provider so you can start instantly checking out their YouTube, their TED Talks, their books, scheduling an appointment with them, whatever you might need. Of course, we're not equipped to handle a crisis, but I will make sure to, that number is listed on our website and our chatbot, and I'll make sure to share that number with you now. So the great thing is, so of course, we're not equipped to handle a crisis. We do have the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline number listed in our chatbot, the TeleWellness Match, as well as our homepage. But also for anyone listening, you can always dial 988. You can also text it now, which is incredible, 988. It is available 24 hours. It's also free. You don't have to register. You can reach out and really just share your feelings if you're struggling. There doesn't have to be an imminent, exact. Some people say, well, I don't know if this counts as a crisis. And if you're struggling, if you feel like you're struggling at all, I encourage you to reach out to 988. But building a social support network is crucial. So connect with your family, connect with friends, join clubs, find communities where you can be yourself. Now, it's hard to do, but find communities where you can be yourself, because having people to talk to and share experiences with can make a world of a difference. So now that we've talked a little bit about what you can do if you see the signs that someone's struggling, or if you yourself are struggling, I want to give some practical tips for managing mental health in college. So as you embark on this new chapter, or you're helping, or you know someone who's about to embark on this new chapter, there's 5 things really that I'm going to focus on. One is establishing a routine. The other is practice mindfulness. The third is staying active. The fourth is limiting substance use. And the fifth is reaching out for help or support. So when it comes to establishing a routine, consistency can bring a sense of stability, right? You go off to college, everything is new. So creating structure for yourself and creating stability through consistency will be really helpful for your body. So try to set regular times for sleep. Sleep is crucial when it comes to mental health, particularly depression and anxiety. Try to set regular times for meals and have them be nourishing, not all just, 3 a.m. pizza. And then also try to set regular times for studying. And this can help manage stress and keep your body and mind in balance. Another practical tip is practicing mindfulness, whether it's through meditation, deep breathing, or simply taking a moment to pause during your day and finding movement, maybe on a walk. Mindfulness can help reduce anxiety and improve focus. The third is staying active. So physical activity is a powerful tool. There's so much research in this. It's proven to help manage stress and boost your mood. Even a short walk or quick workout can make a big difference. The fourth, limiting substance use, it's important to be mindful of how alcohol and drugs affect your mood and behavior, if not in that moment, but later. And if you find yourself relying on substances to cope, or not being able to stop, leaning towards substances too much, it's important to seek help. Fifth, reaching out for support. So whether it's talking to a counselor, there are other great platforms out there for finding a counselor, calling a friend, calling your student health clinic, or joining a support group. Don't hesitate to ask for help when you need it. Give someone the opportunity to show up for you. It could be the greatest gift. I think a lot of people feel like, man, I don't want to be a burden, but it brings people joy. It lets them step into the place of them getting to act out as your friend, to act fully as your loved one, your sibling, your parent, your parent, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin. It's giving someone else an opportunity. It is not a burden. So when it comes to the bigger picture, when I think about long-term mental wellness, college is just one chapter in your life. And the habits and coping mechanisms you develop now will serve you in the years to come. If you find yourself in a time that you're struggling, know that you're not alone. You can approach the issues with those practical tips, reaching out for help, and the time will pass. The struggle will pass with the right support. And by prioritizing your mental health, you're setting yourself up for success, not just academically, but in all areas of your life. So if you're listening today and you're struggling, know that it's okay to ask for help. You're not alone in this journey, and there are people and resources ready to support you. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being resilient, taking care of yourself, and reaching out when you need support. If you are someone who has a loved one taking off to college soon, feel free to share this episode with them. It may just be the words they need to hear, just as a gentle reminder that they're not alone, that their mental health is a priority, and that this exciting new chapter in their life is one that is precious, that their lives matter, and so do their mental health and wellness. So as you head into this new chapter, I encourage you to remember that it's not about being perfect. It's about being resilient, taking care of yourself, and reaching out when you need support. I encourage you to embrace the opportunities and the challenges that come your way. College is often described as a time of growth, exploration, and self-discovery. And by taking care of your mental health, you're giving yourself the best chance to truly enjoy the experience and succeed. Thank you for joining me today on the TeleWellness Hub podcast. Remember, you are stronger than you think, and help is always within reach. Stay connected, stay hopeful, and take care of yourselves. Until next time, I'm Marta Hamilton, reminding you that your mental health and wellness matters. And if you found today's episode helpful, please share it with someone who might benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe to the TeleWellness Hub podcast for more weekly episodes that empower you to take charge of your well-being. Thanks for listening.